All right, what's happening, beautiful humans? This is a very special, I don't know if we call this an episode or a podcast. I don't actually have a podcast, but this is the coming together of two incredible minds and a long-time friendship, business relationship, partnership, strategic alliance. It can be called many different things, and we don't know what to call it, but we do know that it's powerful, and we do know that this is the combining of two technologies of amazing and incredible minds that have come together to touch humanity in, I think, one of the best and most amazing ways and foundational ways. I want to introduce you all to Robin Arnott. He is the co-founder of SoundSelf and just a spectacular human, a dad, a husband, a guiding light in the world of business and fun. I'm honored to call him a brother and a friend, and I'm really excited to see where this conversation is going to go. Robert, welcome to the recording, I guess.
The recording. Thank you. Thank
Recording.
you.
Yeah. So
Welcome
look,
yourself.
look, we talk, at this point, we're talking at least once a week, and we have been for the last 7 or 8 years. We are talking about two powerful technologies. Why don't we start by talking first with a little bit of an overview and a background of SoundSelf, the software and the experience, and then we can dive into the history and the relationship and all the other things that we want to cover. And by the way, stick around till the end because, as usual, we've got a very special offer for you of how we can combine these two technologies together. If you already have inHarmony, if you already have SoundSelf, wherever you fall on the spectrum, if you don't have either, we're going to talk about how you can bring all of this together. And I'm really excited. So, Robin, why don't you kick us off with a little bit about SoundSelf, the technology and the evolution and the harmonization with inHarmony tech.
Beautiful. Thank you, Craig. Well, first, I just want to share how wonderful it is to see your shining face and to talk to you again, this time with an audience.
Right. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll share a little about our technology. So it's at its core, it's a voice biofeedback loop. We take a microphone. I've got one here. I can show you guys. I'll do that later. But we have you wearing a headphone and a microphone and light glasses. So optic neurostimulation glasses, little LED glasses. So a lot of people are super familiar with these kinds of technologies. We've all, anybody who's interested in using technology to provide yourself like an immersive, healing, transcendent experience or something like that. We've all experienced with music. We've all explored lights and binaural beats and things like this. But what our technology does is it combines all of these things, including the haptics, which is why we're here with you, Craig, with inHarmony, with biofeedback, and specifically with the voice and the breath. And so we have a person. First, there's a guided meditation and a little narrative introduction. It's really nice. We kind of go a little avatar on you and set a little story, which we find it just helps lighten the mood so that you know, like, oh, I don't need to like take this seriously. I can have fun. I can let go and do this. It's also helpful just to release expectations of what's going to come. It's not like, oh, I'm doing this serious healing thing. It's like, no, we're here for a story, and then you're guided into vocal toning. So for those of you, most of your audience probably knows this already. But for those of you who don't know, vocal toning is. It's funny. I did some research on this, and because this project came, very intuitively and through heavy use of psychedelics, and but I did some research on it just recently because I was like, I know vocal toning, and that's breathing in, using your whole exhalation to make a tone, like ooh. If you imagine a group ohm or something like that, that's a kind of vocal toning. So our system is built around vocal toning. You're vocal toning the whole time that you're in there. And you do that for 30, 45 minutes, you'll have a state experience. But we amplify that with gaming technology and so on. But just as an aside there, a little historical aside, I was doing some research on this, and so many traditions. It's not just Buddhist traditions. It's not just, Christian monastic traditions. There's so many traditions that use vocal toning as a part of prayer or a part of meditation, and have been doing it for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And as we're seeing across the board on so many of these things, these techniques of creating spiritual attainments are becoming increasingly validated by the scientific paradigm, by research, as we find like, oh yeah, if you if you vocally tone and slow your breath for 30 minutes or whatever it is, you're going to have a profound experience, and it's going to do this and this. And it's like, yeah, we we know that, but it's really good to have it validated by the whole scientific machine, because then we can actually bring this into the kind of the center of the medical industrial complex, which is where I think we really need to bring these things into the. I think of it as going in Star Wars Episode 4. If you want to blow up the Death Star, you got to take your X-wing to the middle of the Death Star, and so that's
Right.
kind of what we're doing.
Well, look, so here's what's really interesting. Just as we're talking to a community of vibroacoustic therapy practitioners and owners
Yeah.
of vibratory devices, right, and using inHarmony as haptic feedback, this is the oldest vibratory instrument that we know.
Oh yeah, totally.
And humanity has been toning for millennia, singing,
Yeah.
dancing, jumping up and down, moving the lymphatic system. And yes, in the more spiritual sense, when you do get into churches and the acoustics and the chords of these pipe organs, and it all comes down to vibration and toning yourself into that deep meditative state is a very powerful modality. And when you
Mhm.
amplify, I share this quite often, but your voice box and larynx does a really nice job of vibrating the upper torso, but the feet and the extremities aren't necessarily in that vibratory field as strongly as the upper torso, the neck, and the head. And when you add on inHarmony technology and you begin to tone into this microphone and then ultimately into the software, and the software plays it back through the bed, you are laying in your own vibratory field. It increases the efficacy, and you drop even further into state quicker. And that's one of the things that I absolutely love about SoundSelf. And I've logged many, many hours using SoundSelf with the inHarmony Sound Lounge, the inHarmony practitioner. We've done events together. We've been talking about this, like I said, for the better part of almost 8 years. I mean, since our existence and inception, the two of our companies have come together through relationship first, and then tinkering of like, could we use your tech to use SoundSelf? Could we use this as an add-on? Not necessary, but a total 1 + 1 = 3 kind of scenario. And of course, the answer is yes. And we've been forging that forward as we've upgraded our technology. You've made upgrades to yours, new software, and it really plays very nicely together. And
Very nicely. Very nicely.
it's
And
it's just the essence of dropping into that deep meditative state using your voice and toning. And it's not something that needs to be intimidating. It's actually like I love how you open, which is to say that this is fun and engaging, gamified, and that's again not overly complex. It's just to say that you're listening to your own voice being played back to you. So you are harmonizing with your own voice in each successive tone that you're releasing. And it becomes something that you really want to play with. And having watched hundreds of people go on these demos and use this experience, it's really fun to watch how deep people go and how far into themselves they can journey by using the culmination of these two technologies together. It's something that I'm very excited about.
well, the thing that I'm interested in here is how far can we take this? Is so we've got a few interesting technologies here. We've got your haptic stimulation of the whole body. We've got the light therapy glasses. I'll go ahead and just pull this down so people
Yeah.
can know what I'm talking about. A lot of people are familiar with strobing glasses or like a Lucia system or something like that. But so it looks like this. It's just glasses that you put on your head. Mine has a little sticker on it, but and it has little LEDs in them that strobe. So, and we all, of course, all know music. Music is maybe the original transcendent technology. And then there's another layer here, which is ketamine. So most of our customers are ketamine clinics, ketamine practitioners, because we find that we can amplify the effectiveness of very small doses of ketamine. Ketamine is usually dissociative, but because we have a person toning, it brings you into your body while the dissociative effects are taking place. So it becomes a very different flavor of experience, very emotional, very, very healing, very And there's all sorts of magic that can go on in there when you're fully present with your body that can't go on otherwise, because you're fully present with your body. And so that's what our ketamine practitioners are finding. They just get better results when they use
Yeah. Increased
SoundSelf,
efficacy.
especially. Yeah, increase efficacy and increase the durability of effect, and we've got a few studies proving these things. But to take it back, the thing that I'm interested in, I've always been interested in for a very long time. My background is actually game design, which is why SoundSelf has this really gamey quality to it. So what I've always been interested in is how immersive can we take things? How powerful can we take things? If you think of a video game, it has this incredible ability to just like take over your mind and put you in a new world, even if you're just like looking at a Game Boy screen or something like that. But you amplify that with full sensory contact with the vibroacoustics, with the glasses, with the embodiment, and then you take it a step farther, because we disengage the mind. Instead of having your mind be playing a game, we're actually getting you into using gaming technology to get you into a deeply, deeply meditative state. And then now we're taking it a step further now by adding the ketamine to it, and we just get unbelievably profound experiences. I saw this. I didn't see this. This was one of our practitioners told me this story of a young woman who was about 15, and she went into SoundSelf and came out at the end of it, and just went into the bathroom. And this was a woman who's, um, healthy young woman, but like so many young women, had body dysmorphia and I think anorexia and um, any number of it's such a tragedy. What we There's so many mental health tragedies in our world right now. I'm not going to begin to go into them, but this particular example, this young woman was really struggling with body image, and she came out of the bathroom, and her mom was there, and she said, "Mom, I don't think I'm fat anymore." Because there was something about this experience, feeling her body, coming into the presence of her body, feeling her breath, and being held in that by interactive music and vibration and light and all of these things, that allowed her to just like come into the reality of who she is, which is a beautiful young woman. And she was able to see that for the first time in God knows how long. And so we see things like that all the time. And that was before we started combining this with ketamine.
Yeah. Look, so many of us are so distracted and overly stimulated by the outside world. I talk a lot about this just in relation to inHarmony tech by itself. So many of us are so distracted by the outside world that we don't get time to really sit with ourselves, that we don't get time to really connect with what's inside, to breathe through that, and to visualize just how beautiful the human mind can be. Our nervous system is so overstimulated with the outside world, looking for and constantly evaluating threats, whether that's on television or YouTube or Instagram or wherever that might be, that we don't really take time to sit with ourselves. We always have somebody in front of us, something stimulating our eyes, our ears, our nose, our senses, that we don't really get time to go within. And when you combine these technologies together, even without a psychedelic, even without a microdose or a macro dose or a therapist or somebody there, it gives you an opportunity to go within, to connect with yourself, to do so in my opinion, a very non-intimidating environment. You're literally being ushered by a beautiful voice. It's soft spoken. He's telling you exactly what to do and how to do it. I'll preface this by saying there's going to be a release. By the time this goes live, we will have a demo version of this in the inHarmony app with a link back to a website, a special offer that we're putting together. So all of that is probably, you might have clicked that link to get there to listen to this in the first place. But this experience is very easy. It's not something that is cumbersome or overthought. It's actually, you're going to lay down, you're going to get introduced to the experience, and then this beautiful voice guides you through the entire experience. And then at that point, you're simply playing with your own voice, breath after breath, tone after tone. And before you know it, it's over. It's not even something that feels like 30 or 40 minutes. You kind of lose yourself within yourself. And because you're so focused and the mind is now focused on toning and harmonizing and Some of us are better at harmonizing than others, but everybody sounds fantastic. And software is something that I've found as well in talking to a lot of people that have done it. And all of a sudden, you kind of awaken from this experience feeling transformed.
Mhm.
It's a very unique experience in that this is one of those transformational experiences where it's not painful. It's not, you're not having these existential, if you will, or out of body experiences necessarily, although that's certainly possible. You are simply listening to your own voice, tone, and going through the process. And on the other side, most of the people that I talk to have this profound experience. It's really something that's quite beautiful. And one of the reasons why I love supporting what we do, I love the conversations that we get to have on a regular basis. They're not often enough. I love your chief science officer. I love the folks that help you with marketing and business development. I love watching your journey over the last 7, 8 years. And it's really something that I'm excited to share with more people, no doubt.
Sorry, I lost you for just a second there. Can you say what you said at the end?
That's okay. Yeah. So I was just telling people how proud I am and how excited I am about this experience and this partnership. And one of the things that I really love about these two technologies together is just how easy it is
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
how
Yeah.
relaxing it is and how you kind of lose yourself in your own voice over time. And it's something that is very easy to understand and to flow through. And most of the people that I talk to after have this profound experience of achieving an altered state, even without ketamine, without psychedelics,
Hmm.
without any other tools. They are simply having this profound experience in using these technologies together. And it's a very easy experience. It's not something that is, um, I have certainly had some plant medicine experiences where I know I'm about to go do some work and this is
Hmm.
going to be
Hmm.
very uncomfortable. And yes, I'm expecting a transformational experience, but appreciating that this is going to be uncomfortable. And that's
Hmm.
just not the experience with SoundSelf. You're reaching these altered states of consciousness using your own voice and some technology, and and you're gaining that transformational experience and perspective that can be quite profound. And to your point in your story that you just shared, exactly what a lot of people need and almost all
Hmm.
of us need is to
Hmm.
turn off that distraction and go
Hmm.
within. And these two technologies help you to do that.
Hmm. And I can tell you exactly why it's not it's not intimidating. Why it's not is is we've got, and I have a lot of appreciation for the, those difficult experiences. They can be, I've had some of my most powerful experiences of life with psychedelics that were difficult. My wife and I are both very involved in ayahuasca, and helping spread the good, high integrity work of ayahuasca. We have an opportunity to work with so many different practitioners all the time because of the work we do, in our private lives. But the 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 reason we can get people, okay, so here's the thing. Do you think people think of like having an ego death experience, right? It's like, oh, that's going to be scary. That, like, all that is just the ego stopping. And that doesn't have to be scary. The only thing that's scared about that is the ego. And because it has this idea of what that is.
Mhm.
And then so of course,
And the concern of if it's going to come back and lose control,
yeah,
which
yeah,
of course it
totally.
does.
Yeah. Um, and so what we do, I remember my first ego death experience. It was not with drugs. It was, I was doing a very deep meditation practice. It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Absolutely scared the shit out of me. I was taking a shower at the time. I didn't even dry off. I ran out of the shower and had a full-on freak out. Um, but it doesn't have to be that way. And using technology, there's a bookmark here just about, right use of technology, which we'll come back to afterwards. But we can use technology, and technology can mean a number of different things, but in this case, I mean specifically, like the vibroacoustic bed, like the biofeedback system, and so on. We can use the technology to help the mind relax into that state, because because the what we forget, even though every spiritual tradition, every meditative tradition says this, is like the truth underlying all of this. It is all we're doing is touching into the truth underlying everything. And when you're in that truth and you can see the ego playing as it's playing, it's just playing, it's just doing what it's doing. And it's from the position of the ego that fear arises. But what that means is that you don't have to like force yourself into anything. In fact, that doesn't even necessarily work very well. It can, but you can also just relax into it. You need a little help relaxing into it the first until what they say about neurons, what fires together wires together, until that wiring is in place of like how to relax deep enough to experience the truth of what we are.
Mhm.
And we can use technology to help with that, and that's what we do. We use the music, we use the biofeedback system, we use the vibration, all of these things to bring you in touch with your breath so that you relax just naturally without having any sort of experience necessary. You naturally relax into a place where suddenly you just are. And
Mhm.
and it happens so gently that it's like that there's no like, oh fuck, I'm about to just be. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, so
And
look,
so
I mean, I think that's to your point. The ego is connected obviously to our nervous system. It's connected to ourselves.
yeah.
And as it begins to, even the thoughts that you're having begin to flow of the anticipation of a plant medicine experience or a psychedelic experience or some type of
Yeah.
altered state experience, the nervous system, the alarms start going off
Oh
and you
yeah.
start feeling anxiety and stress, and that's simply the mind knowing what's coming and then getting concerned about losing control and getting concerned about not coming back and all of these things. Look, I've had like 2,500 psilocybin experiences, and this is something I've spoken about recently from stages and in my talks. And
Craig's on psilocybin right now.
I am
And
not, but I could be. I am not, but I've never had a bad trip.
yeah.
I've had some very uncomfortable experiences for sure that have lasted a very long time in some cases and instances. However, I've never had a bad trip because I always knew the process and I always came back to my practice, whether that's mindfulness, meditation, going inward, sometimes just closing my eyes or changing my environment or realizing that where I was not where I need to be, and then asking for help to be moved or
Mhm.
migrated to a better position, or frankly, just throwing my hood over my eyes and allowing myself to close my eyes and turn off the outside world, put in earplugs, put on an eye mask, whatever it is to help me to go within, to be with myself, where I know there is comfort and longing because I'm comfortable with myself. I'm comfortable in my own skin. And it's these experiences that have taught me that I don't need anybody else but me. I'm blessed to be surrounded by incredible humans with incredible friendships. My wife that I'm with 16 years, my daughter, a new puppy. There's a lot going on around here in the external world that I know I can find comfort in. And at the same time, I need to find comfort within myself first. And once I can find
Mhm.
comfort within myself, it becomes very easy. First of all, I'm always with myself. So that means I always have somebody that I can confide in and be with. I'm never alone because not only do I have myself, but I have the infiniteness of this universe that we're in. And these are all things that I've come to terms with and learned in this life. 45 years on this planet. It's taken me a long time to come around to exactly what I'm sharing with you right now, but it's through process and practice. And it is with, to your point, tech assisted meditation and mindfulness. I think meditation and mindfulness can be very intimidating for people. And when you add music, vibration, light, toning, when you add these tools and layer them together, it's a recipe for a very powerful experience that you then take with you into the world, that you then take with you into every experience that you have. So the practice that you do while laying on and going through SoundSelf, laying on vibroacoustic therapy, now all of a sudden you're sitting in traffic and you're delayed. Last night I took a wrong turn coming home from the rodeo. I was 10 minutes from my house. There were multiple ways that I could have come home. I chose to go through the airport. It was traffic, there was construction, it was one lane, the lights were taking forever. It took me 40 minutes to get home instead of 10. You just take a deep breath. It is what it is. You ease into it. You enjoy the ride. I got home safe and sound. No problems. But you can take this process with you over and over in all of these different life experiences that you have. And it just makes life easier to cope with and handle so that you don't have these otherwise normal experiences that we've co-created in this beautiful society that would otherwise throw you for a loop. And instead, you just kind of coast right through them and go, cool, this too shall pass. I
Mhm.
got this. Let's play on. Let's talk, if we can, for a little bit, just about the history of SoundSelf and maybe our
Yeah.
history, just briefly, and then let's get into our offer. And because we're already pushing 25 minutes, I want to keep this to about 30, 40 minutes, something like that.
Sure, sure. So, let's see. I've been working on SoundSelf for a long time. It was when I originally it was a virtual reality experience
Mhm.
for virtual reality distribution, and but again, my drive has always been how do I make the most precise, perfect experience that we can for people. I don't want to be limited by kind of current institutional and industrial best practices, and so we I met I first connected with vibroacoustic when I met Lyle, so we might go into him or not, but my co-founder of this company, who was putting together an activation at the Oregon Eclipse Festival, and
Yeah.
he said, "Look, you should really try this with vibroacoustic bed," and I was like, "Okay, I'll try it." It just worked unbelievably well. It was just like the
Yeah.
lights came on, and I'd say there's 3 times in the history of this project where that's happened. The first time was when the project first kinda landed in me, and I began working on it. The second time was with vibroacoustic bed, and the third time was when we subbed out virtual reality, which is eyes open, you're looking at pretty graphics, to the strobing lights, which is eyes closed, and your brain is endogenously creating the visuals, exactly the visuals that you need to see, and we're entraining the
Mm.
brain. So, but back at the Oregon Eclipse Festival, I first connected with this technology, and it changed what we were doing for me, and it brought in a new therapeutic potential for me. And it's taken years of fine tuning the technology, but also waiting for frankly, the market to catch up, because
Yeah.
what we had, it was an interactive system for providing altered states. And if you rewind back 8 years, what do you do with that? That's
Totally.
like you put it in a festival is what you do, and that's it. But that wasn't what we
Yeah.
wanted to do. We wanted to really, really help change people's lives. And now we're in a very different world. I mean,
Yeah.
we're the frogs in the frying pan, so it's easy to take for granted just how rapidly the world is changing and coming around to these things. And now, just to fast forward, by contrast, we're pursuing FDA clearance as a treatment for depression, anxiety, PTSD, a few of these things, in the mainstream medical infrastructure, using vibration, light, breath, and sound, and
Mm.
music. And so that's a far cry from 7 years ago, but yeah, Craig, you and I have been working together on integrating these things for a long time. That it feels like
Yeah.
the market's catching up.
Oh, big time. Look, we're seeing this at inHarmony as well. The first 4 years of our business, and again, this is when our partnership was budding. It was really events, trade shows, and taking our technology to the people. And where do
Mhm.
you do that? Festivals, trade shows, conferences, anywhere there's a gathering of people, and any place we can put somebody on it to experience it firsthand, so that you can see it and feel it as you're walking through a trade show or conference floor. And literally, the vibrations coming off our sound lounges would stop people in their tracks and be like, what is this? And then allow them to have that experience for the first time. Now, look, COVID and the pandemic was very good to us. A lot of
Mm,
people began to wake up to learn about what they can do to take care of their own mental health, to take care of their own physical body, to keep their body in that parasympathetic or that rest and digest, that calm and relaxed state of mind. And the impact that had on everything that involved their mind, body, and spirit, which is obviously everything you do in this first person version that we have, or view that we have, or perspective that we have. So the market has really come around in a major way to now we have the ability to go out, create videos and content just like this, talk about what we're doing in the marketplace. And I think both of us are, both inHarmony and SoundSelf, are witnessing and experiencing this renaissance where
Mhm.
even in the vibroacoustics world, we're seeing competitors come online that are just starting up over the last year, 6 months, or 4 years, mainly. And I'm like, we've been doing this for 8 years. We've been watching the marketplace grow. And
You've
look,
got
there
a
are
very
people that have
solid
been doing this.
system.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Look, there are
Mhm.
people that have been doing longer than us that haven't innovated like we have, with built-in speakers and the haptic feedback and the transducers and the look and the feel. And I believe
Here's what I
we're
love.
best in class. Yeah,
Here's what I love about the inHarmony, and I've tried a lot of these different, and I love how vibroacoustics are evolving, but here's what I love about inHarmony is it just works. It's it just works.
appreciate that. Yeah. Look, and we work really hard to create systems that are reliable, to build our technology from the ground up, our own
Mhm.
amplifiers, our own transducers, high fidelity built-in speakers. Just the whole thing is designed to create a system that I, as a consumer, would want to buy and feel confident in the value that I'm getting for the investment that I'm making. And it's one of the things that I really love about SoundSelf is that it's affordable. It comes with
Mhm.
incredible technology. It's something that I run on a laptop, and it pairs really well with the gaming headphones that come with
Mhm.
it, the glasses that come with it. It's a system that it does take a little bit of understanding to get everything to harmonize together, but once you've got it, it becomes something that's very reliable and very easy, and a sequence that you go through to start off the experience. And we'll have some more videos. You have great explainer videos on your website on how to use the multiple technologies together, and we'll of course come out with more of those as we continue to progress. Um, let's talk a little bit about this offer and how people can harmonize our two technologies together. Um,
Sure.
yeah.
Well
And by the way,
well,
I gotta just nod my head to Lyle real quick. Lyle has been a longtime supporter of inHarmony. We've had a friendship, a brotherhood. We have part of the night shift at our countless conferences that we've done together, and just somebody who I love as a human, and I'm eternally grateful for the amount of hours that our teams have worked together to make this happen. I don't think
uh-huh.
needs to be discounted in any way, shape, or form. I can honestly say there's nobody on the planet that is doing what you're doing. There's nobody on the planet that's doing what we are doing together. It is truly a
Mhm.
unique experience that truly deserves the approvals and the science and research and the results that we are yielding right now. Is earned, it's profound, and it is truly making a difference for all of humanity. And that is
Mhm.
something that gets me up early after a sleepless night so that I can continue to push forward these technologies and do these amazing things that we're doing together. And I know it's the same for you. Um, so if you want to add anything there, you certainly can. And then let's talk about bringing these technologies together.
Sure. I'll just echo your shout out to Lyle. Um, that guy is something. Yeah, and
Force of
he was
nature.
the yeah, he's a real force of nature and a real visionary, and, he's also I'm sure I don't know if you know this, but he's probably logged more flights with his sound
He
lounge
has. He has.
from the
He
beginning,
actually
from the first yeah.
I tout him. I talk about him often as when people ask me, "Hey, can I fly with it?" I'm like, "Absolutely." In fact, we've got sound lounges that have traveled all over the world, most of which with Lyle, and
Yes.
uh, and the escapades that he has had with our technology going literally all
Oh
over the
my
world is pretty
gosh. Yeah.
spectacular.
Yeah, yeah, that guy.
You've logged
Uh
some hours by plane yourself. It's
Oh
pretty awesome.
yeah, but not with the grace and pizzazz that Lyle does. You know, I mean, he's tall and strong, and he can just like hold that sound lounge with his pinky.
I got pictures of
Yeah.
him just carrying it over his shoulder while he's walking through the airport, like,
Yeah, this
"Hey,"
giant
with
with
a
a
video in one
sound
hand.
lounge
It's
one.
awesome.
Yeah,
Indeed.
that's funny. No, I've had to when I do that, I have to like balance it on my head.
Oh, I just check it at the curb, and I let other people handle it, no doubt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess I'll. What was the point? We were going to go into the offer, or
Well,
what?
let's
Also,
talk about the offer and the partnership, and let's talk about what it means to bridge these two technologies together. We're going to have
Sure.
folks that have inHarmony tech that are learning about SoundSelf. We're going to have folks watching this video that have SoundSelf that are learning about inHarmony. And I bet we're going to have people that are just hearing about both of these technologies together for the first time.
Mhm.
So let's kind of take it from the top.
Great. So I'll start with for people who have an inHarmony, we've designed our system to be very economical. It can provide these altered states in a very, very inexpensive way. And we're specifically targeting practitioners. And so you can certainly have a system for your own home, but it's designed to be very economical for practitioners to have a system in their office, give people this experience. It stacks incredibly well with other therapeutic modalities, especially somatic therapeutic modalities, because you can just pop someone open and then do what you need to do with them, whether that's acupuncture, whether that's whatever it is, some any kind of somatic therapy. Um, so if you already have a vibroacoustic sound lounge or a vibroacoustic solution, an inHarmony solution, then the good news is you already have the most expensive part of the kit, and you can just get SoundSelf for very inexpensively on our website, and we have a promotion going for inHarmony users. Yeah, if you go to, and I'm sure Craig will provide the link, but if you go to soundself.com/inHarmony, you'll get a pretty substantial discount on your upgrade. And then so you have your vibroacoustic bed, which is the most technically cumbersome and also the heaviest and most expensive part of the whole setup. Then it's very easy just to add SoundSelf, and suddenly your vibroacoustic bed is now a full suite biofeedback system that can provide your clients with altered state experiences. Thanks for the banner right there.
Yeah, we'll just throw that little ticker down there so it's just moving across the screen.
So, so that's my offer and recommendation for people who already have an inHarmony, and we also provide a 2-month return window, so you have 2 months to really experiment with it and decide if it's for you. So if you're interested in what we've been talking about, you're like, I just want to see that for myself, just get yourself a unit, try it out. There's no risk.
Yeah,
So that's
Robin,
yeah.
you've created a beautiful website. You've created a
Thank you.
great landing page. I hope to mirror this one day on the inHarmony site. We're producing pages left and right these days. So we will have a balanced page on our website at some point. This video will hopefully be on that page as well. And it's a very easy add-on. If you don't have an inHarmony piece of technology, you can purchase that through the SoundSelf website. You can, if you
Mhm.
already have SoundSelf and you're a practitioner that's learning about inHarmony for the first time, you can actually
We have
purchase.
we have an upgrade page as well. And so if you're hearing about this for the first time, we sell the whole package all together. And if you have SoundSelf but you don't have the vibroacoustic mat, then we make it very easy to upgrade as well.
It's been a beautiful experience. You have great videos that tutorialize exactly how to use the two technologies together. We will, of course, be coming out with more of that as we get more questions regularly. We're
Mhm,
doing
mhm.
backfilling that Q&A, making the process as easy as possible. Um, yeah, anything you want to close with? Anything else that you'd like to add?
No, that's it, Craig. Thank you for the conversation. It's great to see your face
Oh,
and great to
yeah,
talk about
I
how we've
love
been
you.
working together. This is fun. I love
I
you
love
too.
you.
I
If
love
you
you too.
were, no, there's so much love. It's great. All right. If you already have the inHarmony app, if you already have inHarmony hardware, you should, by the time this video airs, you should be able to search for SoundSelf. There is a demo version. It's about a 35-minute experience. Obviously, there's no haptic, there's no biofeedback. You're not hearing your own voice playback. However, you are able to go through a very similar experience. And if you like that experience, then I highly recommend clicking on the link in our app, taking yourself to this page that is scrolling down beneath, and making the add to add SoundSelf to your inHarmony experience, and moving things attract the eye. It's I don't know what it is, but anyhow, Robin, a ton of gratitude. I love you. I appreciate you. Don't exit this screen because we need to upload the rest. And if you have any questions, as always, you can reach out to Robin. You can reach out to me. My phone number is at the top of our website. Our email address is at the bottom. I hope y'all have a spectacular day. Thanks so much, Robin.
Thank you, Craig.